right, welcome back, watch fans. We are covering the Phillips New York watch auction next week, June 8th. And this is the final in our series of the New York auction week. And I think this could be, did we save the best for last? Could be, right? You know, we got Christie's has some heavy hitters. You know, Sotheby's has the Sylvester Stallone watches, and these guys have some incredible watches. I do want to mention that Phillips actually has the best photography. I mean, it's really a pleasure looking at this catalog, as we're going to see just right now. I mean, the pictures are really incredible. I mean, Christie's, Sotheby's, I mean, theirs are very dull, and I mean, I think it does add to the value. So anyway, let's get into the auction. We got some. I think we get about a dozen. Actually, we got about 15 lots I want to highlight, which I think could be something that you want to keep an eye on. So let's get right into it, guys. Before I do start, make sure again, if you're not a subscriber yet, click the like, subscribe button, and also get our free weekly newsletter. The link is in the video description below for the latest news on Rolex, Patek, Philippe, Audemars Piguet, vintage and modern prices, trends, all sorts of stuff. Absolutely free in your inbox twice a week. And with that said, let's dive right in. Okay, here we go. Lot one. Actually, I just want to bring up lot one. This is just kind of a fun lot. This is just like a bunch of, you know, just a bunch of, I don't want to say garbage, but you know, it's just a bunch of Patek stuff. You know, they got a clock and they got a world time clock. You got these Patek Philippe ties. You got these ceramic trays. Oh, and you get the gloves. You have those gloves. I mean, this is some. Oh, and you got the wiping cloth. I have one of those. I do have one of those. And what else do they give you? I mean, this is. Who was this? Was this probably? I assume this came from you know, a salesman at the store. I don't know. No, actually, it's probably from a collector. It's probably the guy who probably asks them for stuff every time he comes in. That's who this is from. Just a fun little lot, I guess, to start things off. And this is $3,000 to $6,000 estimate. Of course, half of that is probably for this clock, right? That's probably like $3,000. And this is not, is it a functional world? I don't think this actually functions, right? The real clock to get, though, is the Ellipse. That is the ultimate Patek clock. Okay, with that said, let's get into some of the serious lots. Again, you can't not bring up the crash. The crash over here. Let me just pop something in here real quick onto the screen. There we go. Okay, so the crash. This one has the green Roman hands. I mean, again, it's a new watch, 30 to 60,000, and they have like 3 of these. They have 3 crashes in this auction, one better than the other. I mean, it's incredible. Again, I think these things are getting way ahead of themselves. Way ahead of themselves. I mean, this is like crazy hype. Okay, let's talk about some real value. Believe it or not, we have value in Patek Philippe. And here we have the Nautilus, the 5168 white gold. Okay, white gold. Looks like a brand new watch, right? And of course, you have that Tiffany dial, which, you know, that's a premium. That adds probably, I don't know, 30% to the value. It's kind of ridiculous, but look, I think if you're going to get a crash today, excuse me, if you're going to get an Aquanaut, okay, if you're going to get an Aquanaut, the one to really get is the white gold, right? If you really have to go for it, get the white gold. It's what is it? It's like 70, 80 grand versus, you know, I don't know, 50, 60 grand for the stainless one. And it looks so much better. I mean, it looks 10 times better. I mean, the basic steel Aquanaut, looks like a cereal box toy. I mean, this looks actually, I mean, the blue here is incredible. The design of that, the globe, whatever you want to call that, it really works. It really does work. Again, not that I'm an Aquanaut fan, but if you do have to get one, this is kind of the one you get. Okay, now this has to be one of my favorite lots here. This is a new old stock Patek Jumbo in two-tone, my favorite combination. And you know what? These, it's funny. I wasn't a two-tone fan up until maybe 5 years ago. Actually, maybe about 8 years ago, I think I got into it. Before that, would never consider one. And sure enough, I have several two-tones. And on the Patek Nautilus, I really thought that the dial to have is the blue dial, right? Two-tone with the blue dial, the Patek 3800. And you know what? The champagne dials they're really growing on me. I mean, they're very different. And in person, they look very different than like your typical Rolex champagne dial. These actually are quite special. And yeah, maybe because I have other blue dials, but this one is really nice. You have the nice sans serif font in the date window. The watch is spectacular, right? And again, this is the Jumbo. Basically, it's mint condition. You got mint condition. 60 to 120,000 is the estimate. Look at this. I mean, it's completely, I mean, it's literally new old stock. You're getting a brand new watch. What is this going to sell for? I'd be curious. I'm actually curious. What would this go for? I mean, it looks incredible on the wrist, right? The only thing is, here's the funny thing though. I think these watches look better because again, with the champagne dial and even the blue dial or whatever, these 3700s or 3800s, they look better when they're a little bit, they have a couple of little scratches, like they've been worn. I mean, look, this is a 40-something-year-old watch, so you expect it to look like it, and that's kind of, I think that's kind of the only negative, because the watch is absolutely mint condition. So if you wear it, it's gonna look a little strange because it looks like a brand new watch, but it's clearly not, right? So really, really interesting, right? Let's take a look at a couple of other ones here. Okay, we have the Nautilus perpetual calendar. Again, this is really the ultimate Nautilus, right? And of course, this is a Tiffany dial. If it wasn't a Tiffany dial, on the secondary market, these are about 200 grand. I think it's about 155 at retail. And again, the prices on these have been really coming down. I think we're going to be, the delta between retail and kind of the market, it's going to compress. So I think these are going to be, at retail, maybe even below retail in the next 12 months. So you're kind of getting a lot. You're really going to have a built-in loss almost if you buy one of these. Except again, the Tiffany dial does add to it. With Patek Philippe, there's always these little nuances which the Patek collectors are particular about. I don't think the Tiffany dial is a big deal. I think it's like Bayer, Gubelin. Now I don't know if Bayer or Gubelin did. I don't think they have the Nautilus Perpetual, but I think those are actually, maybe even more impressive names than Tiffany for Patek, and those don't trade at. I think the whole Tiffany thing, I think, is just getting, way, way, way out of hand. It's overhyped. Misaligned hands. You know what? I'm actually going to get mine serviced next week. I'm going to be I'm going to the Patek service center in New York. the Henri Stern agency, right? So I'm going to get mine. I'm going to drop my watch off next week, and we'll see. But I never heard of misaligned hands. Uh, I think it's probably going to be, these services are not cheap. I think it's going to be probably like, I'm hearing different numbers, but it's going to be 3,500, 4,500 grand plus, and I'm hearing like 6 months. I'll know next week, or actually the week after next. So it'll be interesting. I don't know, Daweed, what do you think of these? What do you know? What Here's the thing. You know what the thing is. Um, when you have a perpetual calendar, when you have a Patek perpetual calendar, you really need to have two, right? You got to have two watches. You got to have one that you wear, and then one is the backup. It's kind of like when you had the old, when you had a Rolls or a Bentley back in the day before they had the modern ones, like in the 90s or whatever. Before that, you had to have two, or Ferrari, one that you drove, and the other one was, when the other one was in the shop, you had it, right? So yeah, that's kind of thing. But no, again, I love the 3940 with the sub dials, but I really do want to get another perpetual, because, and maybe on a rubber strap or some other type of strap, because I'd like to be able to wear it year round. And 3940 on that, the crocodile, the alligator strap, where I am, I can't really wear it in the summer because it gets hot, whatever. I don't want to go outside in the watch and sweat, and it's not really that good. So I'm actually looking at the JLC. If the JLC prices come down, which they are, we'll see. Uh, the the minute hand is a 12. Yeah, hey, I'm not a watchmaker, so I don't know, but I think you're going to have to go to. If you went to any, it doesn't seem like it's complicated. I mean, again, I'm just, I think probably if you went to any like legitimate watchmaker, if you went to like a Patek AD, they probably have a watchmaker there. Maybe they can tell you. I don't think it's a big deal. Um, would you value Cartier signature? Oh, that's interesting. Wow, that's a great question. That's actually a great question. We've seen a couple of these, right? We actually had a couple that came up in some of these auctions. Um, I haven't done a comparison, side by side comparison, apples to apples. I think the Cartier signature is more valuable than a Tiffany signature. I would think so. I think the Cartier is a more exclusive brand. Um, yeah, I think we saw one on a Tudor, right? Didn't we have an auction? Didn't we show one with a Tudor? I'd like to do a kind of a deep dive into it, but yeah, you don't see the Cartier signature, right? Yeah, we gotta see that. That would be really interesting. Anyway, by the way, if any of you guys want to jump onto the panel, you are welcome. Let me keep going with the auction. We got some really interesting lots in this sale. Hang on a second. Yeah, I think, did we cover it? I think we had it in the previous video. I think that was last week we had that. I think we went through it. It seemed a little cheap, right? What was it? It was like a no, what was it? There was a watch I remember with a Cartier signature, but I think the Cartier is definitely a lot more interesting because, again, we associate Cartier with their own watches now, and it's going to be that way in the future more so. So it makes it more interesting, especially if it's a big signature. It looks nice, and it's a much. Let's face it, the Cartier logo is a lot more attractive than the Tiffany logo, which is very dull. I mean, Tiffany is the most overrated company out there. I mean, their jewelry is overrated. Everything about them is overrated. Anyway, Universal Genève. Wow, this is an expensive. I mean, this is like a high. Wow, this is a surprising estimate. 8 to 16,000 for this chronograph. Exotic dial. What is exotic? Okay, maybe did I miss something? What's with this dial here? I don't know, but anyway, but look, the UG is shooting up in value. I mean, it slowed down a little, but it really had a pop right after that. Breitling, it came out that Breitling is buying them, and so from what we understand, the new Universal Genève watches are going to come out in the next, like, could be as soon as 12 months. Could be about 12 months. So, you know, it'll be really interesting, right? But yeah, the prices have popped. And I kind of, I missed the boat on that. It's every time I kind of get interested in a watch, all of a sudden I really do need to move on it, because all of a sudden, I find out a couple months later, all of a sudden prices pop, like the Cobra, the AP Cobra, you got the Universal Genève, all these things. It's getting quite annoying. And here's the thing, you know what? I think what it is, it's sort of, there's like this universal mind, and when you start getting interested in something, all of a sudden a lot of other people probably get that same thought, right? It's one of those things. Wow, that's very interesting. Yeah, really interesting. Now, there's a lot of stuff that happens, but okay. Stone dials. We got the Rolex stone dial Datejust with the lapis dial, 1970, 15 to 30,000 estimate. And by the way, look how much better these watches look with this really nice background that Phillips does here. If it was a plain white background, it wouldn't be as nice, right? Yeah. So again, this is probably going to go again 20, 25, 30,000. And these look great. I mean, this would look great on like a baby blue crocodile strap. Imagine that you'd get like a baby, or what do you call it? Shagreen, a stingray, galushat, like a baby blue. Amazing. I'd get rid of it. The gold is like too much. I'll tell you what. The one watch I'm actually interested in is a gold Submariner nipple dial, just the head only, because I'd wear it on a strap. I think they look amazing. The blue ones, the blue dial. Okay, so this is the Mexico Hecco Mexico bracelet. That was the whole story where they made the bracelets some import thing, whatever. I don't know. I don't really care about that. Let's keep going here. We got a couple of interesting. I love the Piaget stone dials. I think though, I think like if you buy it now, like if you find them, they'll appreciate. I think there's still upside, but a lot of that stone dial in the last couple of years, the prices have really taken off. But I think they're okay. I think Piaget is actually still pretty underrated. I mean, Piaget is not really hyped. I think Piaget could be the next Cartier. Piaget is the next Cartier. That's what I'm saying. Piaget is the next Cartier. Although it's I think actually Piaget is a far better watch. I mean, quality wise, importance wise, they're in my opinion, they're superior to Cartier. So, but again, there's the whole Cartier hype train and all that. Now this watch, I think this is a woman's watch. It's got to be a woman's watch, ladies' watch, right? 21 millimeter. But this is extremely cool. Look at this, like angled case, white gold with the you get the pave diamonds, dual time. That's what I like about this dual time watch. And this was some sort of thing they did for France. The I don't know, some sort of there's some whatever it is, right? Great watch. This is like who's that collector that we know of? Kirby, Crazy Kirby. This is the watch. She's probably going to have this on her Instagram account. This is the watch to get. Let's keep going here. the good stuff is coming up. We got lot 30, 33. Did I cover that? 30, yeah, 33. We got lot. Oh, by the way, just want to show you this real quick. So, it's real interesting that Patek, they do the annual calendar on this bracelet, which actually looks really good. But for whatever reason, on the perpetual calendar, you see they got these little screw things in here. I don't know if you can see the little screw things at the bottom. You see the little screw at the top, where the 12 position is and where the 6 is, where the bracelet connect. I think it's kind of screws in or something, and it just looks horrible. And this watch, something is wrong with this watch. I don't know what is wrong with it. There is some weird, funky, I don't know if it's photography or something is going on with it. It's and the white, I don't know, it's ivory. It just looks terrible. It says retail by Bayer. Is there a Bayer signature? No, there isn't. I don't know. Just this watch really looks like a disaster. Anyway, let's keep going. Again, beautiful, beautiful watch. And again, the problem with this is it looks a lot better because of that background in the photography. I mean, the photography here is amazing with that background, but the watch really is good looking. So it's the AP perpetual. Look, if I were to get, I was thinking if I were to get a backup perpetual calendar for the 3940. So the options are, here are the options. If you're going to get a perpetual calendar as a backup, the options are JLC gold, which is about 16 grand. So those have shot up a little bit. You got the Audemars Piguet perpetual, which have also shot up. They're about 16 grand to 18 grand. Again, that was 8 grand, 10 grand, a couple of years ago. Same thing with the JLC. And this uses a JLC movement. So I kind of feel it's a little more safe. What else is there? What other options do we have? So we got AP, JLC, and who else does a perpetual? Yeah, but I think those are the options. I mean, I wouldn't want to get another Patek perpetual. That's like, whatever. Okay, we get the Baron John. No, the Universal Genève has actually, they've increased a lot in the last 9 months or so. Ever since the announcement that Breitling is buying them, they've probably increased 50%, maybe even in some cases doubled. But they were relatively cheap. Not cheap, but they were reasonable, though. People were buying them. Their collectors really like them. Are you, which question? I'm not sure. What are you? Which watch are you asking about? I'm taking that out of context. I'm not sure what the question is. But anyway, back to the perpetual here. This is great looking watch. The skeleton, really nice example. 25 to 50,000. 25 to 50,000. I don't know. These are getting a little high, no? I think these are getting a little bit. They might be getting a little bit ahead of themselves. These, a little bit ahead of themselves. I could see it going for, again, like, I hate to say, but in the 30s, low 30s. But it's getting a little ahead of themselves. Okay, moving along. We got another perpetual from AP. Whoa, this is interesting. Whoa. I actually missed this. I completely missed this. So this was equation of time. And I can't get into the whole equation of like solar. There's a whole, I don't care about the equation of time nonsense. But it says this was made for the William J. Clinton Foundation. Whoa. The Bill Clinton Foundation, the White House. Whoa. Let's Let's take a look. Hang on a second. Let's look at the back. Okay, it's a pretty. Oh, look at this. It's William J. Clinton, 42nd president of the United States. Whoa, we got to read the catalog. You see, I skipped through. I didn't even notice this. And look at this. Okay, accompanied by William J. Clinton. Is the Clinton Foundation still in business? I thought they may have shut it down. Their brand really. Did they shut it down? I mean, they really kind of, went off the tracks. Anyway, so the president, long-standing commitment to philanthropy, which then originally sold the poor. Okay, so this is a watch. This is a watch which I guess AP sold, and a portion of the sales proceeds benefited the Clinton Foundation. Oh, originally released in 2007. The watch celebrated the 42nd president with 42 examples made in platinum, rose gold, and white gold. This is a white gold model. Okay. I guess they are still in business. It says the Clinton Foundation works with partners to make a difference in people's lives across the United States and the world with programs, leader, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. There you go. Wow. That's crazy. That's pretty crazy. This is the grifter watch. I mean, this is the ultimate grifter watch. Yeah, the engraving looks great. I mean, actually both on the AP, on this one and the perpetual, it does look good. Equation of time. Wow. William J. Clinton Foundation. Amazing. Let's keep going. This actually, this, I gotta say, if these ever sell cheap enough, it could have some, collectible value. It could have some collectible value. Again, the watch, the Clinton thing, who knows? But it's interesting, right? It's a, as Kevin O'Leary would say, it's a real conversation starter. I mean, you can always tell people, hey, you got it as a gift from Bill Clinton, whatever. I don't know. And people love Clinton. I mean, he really is. I mean, whatever your politics are, the guy was an incredible salesman, great politician. He just great con man, really one of the great con men out there. This thing looks stunning, right? Daytona pink gold sundust dial with the baguettes. Wow. On the bracelet. I mean, this is the way to go. I mean, you see these things on that rubber strap, and that rubber strap just looks so cheap. I mean, it's comfortable. I get it. It's comfortable and all that. But the black it looks ugly. It looks, actually, the Oyster Flex is disgusting. It just looks disgusting. Okay. It really does. They look cheap. They look disgusting. And, they're not going to age well at all. They look dated already. If you're going to wear a watch like this is the way to go. 30 to 60,000. I wonder what this is going to go for, actually. I think these are probably in the high 50s. It's amazing, right? I mean, the sundust with the baguettes looks great. The whole gold package looks great. Okay, so we got some FP Journes, RMs. I don't care. I'm going to skip through these. I'm going to go through, get to the good stuff here. Let's see here. We got some heavy hitters coming up. The real heavy hitters are up next. Okay, you got some independents, which, I don't really know these guys, but I'll bring up this guy here. This is real interesting. Haldeman. Just interesting, right? We got a super sticker Uzi, 99 cents. We got the heavy hitters coming out in full force. Thank you. All right. So the deal with this is it's basically a handmade watch, right? So, again, it's one of these stories, the handmade, doesn't do any machinery. But I read in and there's a tourbillon. The tourbillon is in the center, which is actually very cool, right? It's actually very cool that it's in the center. And you notice the hands, they're kind of, It's actually very cool. Uh, the dial is, it's kind of boring. I mean, the dial is kind of boring. The case is relatively standard. I think it's kind of a lost opportunity. Yeah, these guys really should team up. All right, they need to team up with like. There's got to be a team, right? Because you need like somebody who's like a dial maker who's got an eye for design, a case maker, a dial. Yeah, somebody who's got an eye for design, and then you bring in the watch guy, the horology guy. You got to have two. It's very hard to find somebody who could do both. Very hard. It's like you know, it's one of those impossible things. Anyhow, let's so 80 to 106. Oh, so here's the interesting thing. So this guy, Haldeman, uh, the deal is if you buy the watch, he'll service it for free forever. That's their deal. He will service the watch for free. So okay, so we got more. We got some Cartier heavy hitters here. Wow, look at this. You got this ruby or red lacquer dial. You got this red lacquer dial with the diamonds on the bezel, 100 to 200,000 estimate, and you also got a spare dial. Wow, look, that's such a cool dial. Look at that. When you see it outside of the case, it looks like I mean, the actual dial looks better than the watch without the case. I mean, it looks like it's that's Salvador Dali. That's kind of what it's based on. That kind of melted time thing, whatever, the famous painting. Okay, it would be interesting to see what this looks like in person, right? We got the what is it, the Banois Allongé? Okay, so this is the London Cartier, which I call the vagina watch, right? Because that's really kind of what it looks like, no? Pretty cool. It's like a blue-black dial. And here it is. Wow. I've never seen a picture like this before. We've never seen that before. Like the whole thing taken apart like that. So all these things are really done by, they're almost one-offs. Each was slightly different. These were not mass-produced. So it's almost like a piece of jewelry, like an individual piece of jewelry. 1969, that's like the prime era. Oh, look at this. The movement signed JLC. Oh yeah, it's a JLC movement, of course. Je le culte. Of course. Again, JLC, they're the watchmaker's watchmaker. I mean, they've done movements for, Audemars Piguet, Vacheron, Patek Philippe, Cartier. Why don't they get more respect, Well, we've talked about it. We've talked about it in previous videos why that is, but oh yeah, Artisan Genève. I hope you saw. We had the Artisan Genève video covering that. I think the Artisan de Genève. John Baron. I'm not okay. I'm losing track of the messages. I'm not sure when you met. Yeah, I hope you saw the Universal Genève. The Artisan de Genève video we did on the customized Rolex watches. Those things are amazing. There's actually another company that's doing customization, which is also really interesting. I mean, these things are incredible. I think they're actually worthwhile buying. Again, if you get them cheap, if you gotta, if you see an opportunity to get one, because they don't move that fast. People, the collectors haven't figured out Artisan de Genève. They really haven't figured it out yet. They think it's kind of like this, weird thing. It's not a real Rolex. But if I were to get an Artisan de Genève, I would stick with Rolex because that's where they do best, the Artisan de Genève, and I would stick with the real thing is maybe to get one of those where they have the customized movement like they did for Lance Armstrong or they did for that guy with the extra moon phase, because that's really cool. Because if you have, like, let's say, I a yacht master, right? Imagine if I had the yacht master and they could make a moon phase in there. I don't know if it would look good or not, and that's a whole nother issue and what they could do with it, whatever. But I mean, these people really are, they legitimately are artisans, right? So the Artisan de Genève is, they're worthy of that name. Super sticker 199 from Uzi, thank you. Yeah, it's really interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at these clocks. The Cartier clocks, they had some sales in where was it, in Hong Kong. The Hong Kong sales we had some big prices, but those clocks were different. I'm going to go through these. These are quite frankly not that interesting, not as good as the Hong Kong ones, which had a very, although actually no, this is, yeah, no, it's not that good. It's not the same. It's not the same as the, what made the Hong Kong one special was that they incorporated pieces of jade and things like that, 19th century and like 17th century. So it was like a piece of antiquity, and the Cartier thing. So it's, the Art Deco plus, Chinese, jade antiquity, and that's valuable. And the Chinese love that, right? Chinese collectors love that. And listen, any collector actually would love it. These are okay, right? Whatever. I don't have any real opinion on these. These are, I guess it's interesting. I mean, it's not. I mean, it doesn't compare to what we saw in the Hong Kong sale, right? Okay. Here comes the heavy hitter. Are you guys ready for this? I think this watch is gonna like surprise people, and the real surprise is the picture is not coming up. What happened here? Shit! What? That is weird. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's the internet. I thought maybe they pulled the watch. Wow. I mean, take a look at this. Take a look at this amazing dial, right? It's all about the dial here. This is funny. Okay. Yeah, listen, Uzi, save the super chats. Get rid of those Rolex, those day shitters, and this is the watch, man. This, and by the way, we actually had some really interesting day dates. Yesterday we showed one which had incredible. That was in the was it the Christie's? I get these things are all blending in. It was the Christie's sale. The videos online where they had the it was a 1995 model. They had the diamonds in the center links. It was an incredible watch. Ruby, I mean, beautiful watch. 50,000, I think it is. Okay, this is an incredible watch. So this at 50 to 100,000 estimate. You have this Oyster Perpetual, right, with a blue lacquer dial. These lacquer, forget about blue. The lacquer dials on the Datejust are very rare, very desirable, and these are becoming like very hot. But I think it's all about the dial. It's completely about the dial. It's not the movement. It's the dial, right? So people are willing to pay big money for the dial, and I think this watch is going to surprise, a lot of people. This watch is going to 50 to 100. I can see this going for, I don't know, 200 grand. 200 grand. So the dial is by Stern Frere. Stern Frere, who bought Stern Frere? Is it I got to look this up. Is it the Henry Stern people or Stern Frere? Anyway, the dial is incredible. It's like a sapphire. It looks like a jewel. I'd love to see this in person. But let me show you something. Okay, you see, is this up on the screen? Okay, so this sold a couple of weeks ago in Geneva. They had a 400 to 800,000 estimate in Swiss francs, by the way. So it's like $110 or something, and it sold for $1,270,000 with premium. So it's about $1,400,000. $1,400,000 for this dial. By the way, same year, okay? 1953. It's the same dial. I mean, it's the same setup. The case is a little different. It is a little bit different. slight differences, slight nuances. But I think this one is as good, if not better. I mean, this one had, okay, you got this cloisonne, the boat, whatever. I mean, it's okay, but the problem with this is it looks too. I mean, it's okay. I think it's a little bit over. I think it's a little bit overrated. Just for a cloisonne doll with a little paint. I mean, listen, if you want to spend 800 grand extra for a paint, for basically an artwork, there's a lot of great paintings you can get for 800 grand. Okay, like blue chip art. We're talking about, like, heavy hitters, which will do much better than this. But yeah. Anyway, this is a great watch. I'm curious to see what it'll go for. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys have any opinions on that watch? The gong. We're taking bids. We're taking bids for the gong. But hey, all right. So let's. I mean, that watch is going to be. I think going to be one of the real stars of the of next week's auctions. It's going to be definitely one of the stars. I mean, because what else? We have that stellene. You got the Rolex stellene. You got. I mean, yeah, you have like the $1 million Pateks, but those are so boring. I mean, there's one in this auction, but I mean, they're like very dull watches. I mean, they're very like. I mean, they're like tomato can watches, frankly. I wouldn't waste $1 million on that watch. Okay, let's see, what else do we have here. Oh, wow. Okay, I almost missed this, right? So you can miss things. So you get a white gold Datejust, white gold with a Jubilee, 1965. 1965 tropical dial, lacquer dial, 20 to 4. You almost never see these in white gold. Almost never. 20 to 40,000. That's actually pretty cool. I mean, that's actually a pretty cool watch. I mean, like, if you want to get deep into Rolex, if you want to get deep, if you really want to get deep into Rolex, I guess it kind of like, it's almost like, hey, if you want to impress other, like, Rolex vintage geeks, this is probably the watch, because it's, white gold. They just, how often do you see with this type of dollar? You almost never see it, right? And it could be reasonable, right? Maybe 30 grand. Again, for what it is, it's, okay, let's keep rolling here. Let's keep going here. We got 5712s. We got another lacquer dial, Stella dial, date, 25 to 50. Yeah, this one looks like this one looks in pretty good condition. Wow, look at that pink. Look at that pink. Very crisp. I mean, this thing looks like it's never been touched. Amazing. We got hang on a second. Let me go. Uzi, I'm going to get to you in just a second. Let me just click through here. Let me get through here. What else do we have to look at? That's pretty much it. Then they have this thing, which is like, I don't know, whatever. A Patek perpetual minute repeater chronograph. Kind of boring. I mean, I don't know, for how much? 500 grand to $1 million? I don't know. Uzi, is he on the? Here he is. Uzi, what's happening?
How much for me to hear the gong? I want to hear the tone of that gong.
Which gong? The gong that I have, or the wall? Oh, my gong.
Yeah, your gong.
My gong. You got to. We're open to bids. It's Well, how much do you want to pay?
$20. $20
for the gong.
That's all I got.
I gotta go across the room, man. I gotta go across the room.
Come
It's a
on,
lot of work
man.
to go across, to walk across the room. You haven't been here. You haven't been here in a while. You know, I see you going to the Archie program.
No one's been here. What are you talking about? No one's here.
You're giving me that tomato can super chats. I mean, what is that? That busted down loser. He's got the worst watches in the world. Come on, man.
You never know when you're going to answer, so that's all I have to do with you. You can't waste. I can't waste my money.
This channel is worth more super chats. But anyway, what do you think? What do you think of these watches? Anything that caught your eye?
No, I just tuned in. Actually, I have food that I need to eat. It's getting cold. I wanted to, because you misunderstood when I said how much for the gong. I'm telling you how much for the gong. Yes.
Yeah,
I want to hear that thing. That thing was powerful the first time you rang it. I was surprised, dude.
It's very it's very loud. No, that gong.
It's amazing. It's an amazing gong.
It's a legitimate gong. No, it's a musician's gong.
I know it's legit. I heard it. It's a real freaking gong, dude.
It's like a $500 gong, basically, in today's money. Maybe more. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Enjoy your dinner.
I want to hear the gong.
You want to hear the gong? Okay. How much you gonna pay for the gong?
I just told you $20.
$20. All right. Send a super chat. We'll ring
hold on.
For you.
Let's do this live.
Look at this. We're prostituting this channel here.
Give me a sec. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
How many rings do you want to hear? How many?
That's your discretion. Go crazy on it.
No, I'll do two. It's across the room, so actually, I think it'll be a good sound because it'll reverberate.
Here you go. Gong.
It'll reverberate. Okay, let's see. We got the super check. Okay. Oh, this guy came in. Okay.
Hold on. Listen, give me a sec. I'm gonna jump off, but I want to pull my earphones out so I can hear it on the speakers. I gotta get my money's worth. Okay.
Okay. So let me know when you're ready. Just let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead. I'm hopping off now. I'll pull it, and right when I hop off, just yeah.
How was that? Did you hear it? Okay, that was the gong. I hope the acoustics were good. I mean, no, because it's across the room, so I think the sound actually, the sound works. By the way, Uzi, you know what you need is you got to get one of those Artisan de Genève. You got to take your Submariner and get it customized by these Artisan de Genève guys. That would be amazing. So unbelievable but true. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap this show up. Today's watches from Phillips next week. Oh, I missed one. The FP Journe. We saw one of these. Was it in Geneva? It didn't do that great. It wasn't. It didn't get as much action as we thought, right? Look, the dial is boring, right? You get a very kind of boring dial. And it's tourbillon, right? It's a tourbillon. So where's the tourbillon? The tourbillon, you got to flip up that Hunter case to look at the tourbillon. But I mean, look at the engraving. It's beautiful. Oh, wait. This is okay. So this is an edition of 99. You know what's great? Look, I got to give this guy credit. The number, the edition, he put in that little center thing. So this is 26 of 99. And the font is great. Look at this font. I mean, the font is great. It's this FP Journe kind of, old-fashioned font. This is silver. Is this silver? Oh. Silver and pink and gold. It's kind of a weird combination. I think it's a weird combination. Look at this. You're getting this oxidation here. You got these blued screws. The watch, it's not as bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was. But I think it would be so much better if this was like white gold. If it was white gold and pink gold or whatever, that would be amazing. I'm just not a fan. Silver is like, I don't know. Look, I think if my feeling about silver is and steel is if you're going to have a piece of high horology, something like this, it deserves the respect of being, encased in precious metal. Okay, we got Baron John $10 super chat. Okay, wow, that gong really gets the punters going. The gongs. It is all about the gong. John, what do you think of this FP Journe? Anyway, this is 150 to 300,000 estimate, 40 millimeter. Again, limited edition tourbillon. It's interesting. This could be the problem. The problem with this dial is it's so boring, right? So boring. But it's a lot more interesting than a lot of these FP Journes that are going for big money today. Yeah, I mean the case and everything. Let's take a look. Okay. By the way, this thing is again a lot of these modern Pateks. I just find them to be a disaster. Case in point, these annual calendars and the bracelet, and the bracelet just doesn't work. This bracelet is just ugly. It really is. There's very few people who can pull off that sports bracelet. Very few people, right? The Nautilus, it works on the Nautilus. The Royal Oak is obviously the ultimate, right? Of course, and you know what? You got to realize Rolex actually, I guess we don't appreciate that how much, how good that bracelet is, especially the modern Rolex bracelet. I mean, the Oyster, the Datejust, the President. That's probably what makes the watch, Let's take a look at some other of these Rolexes here. Again, you get this is a crazy one here. So this is baguettes with what are these emeralds on the hour markers. Yeah, this is crazy. But yeah, no, people are really getting into these like exotic dials. Everybody wants. It's like a drug addict. They would need a higher high. They need that higher high. Everything has to. Everybody wants something. Next, more and more exotic. And wow, I have not seen this before. Wow. Okay, so these numerals, white gold. What is this? White gold diamonds. What are the numbers? Is it lacquer? What are they made from? We don't know, but this thing really does pop. Wow. And the strap looks great. It's the Rolex strap. No, the thing looks great. 2,005, 40 to 80,000. Box papers. The strap is a little dull. You could be better. Number 136. You're talking about. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think these are going for what do these go for in the secondary market? With these baguette dime. They go. I don't follow these, but these go for substantial money now, right? They're in the 100+ range. Okay, so we got the rainbow doll. You know what? I actually saw I saw a couple of these rainbow dolls in person for the first time this weekend at the Boucher store. They had the Rainbow Daytona, and they had one of these. And I got to tell you, the Rainbow Daytona actually looks. I mean, it looks amazing. It's incredible. When you look at it in the light, the way the rainbow goes all around. When the light hits those those gems, and it goes all around. It makes a rainbow. It's incredible. I mean, it really is. Would I ever get one? No. I mean, it's very maybe, you know what? Listen, if how much was the retail? I think the retail actually wasn't that high. The only thing is, what do I need? I don't need a Daytona, right? I mean, I don't need a chronograph. I think it's kind of wasted. I think it's wasted on a chronograph. The rainbow would be put to better use on, like, I don't know, maybe a date or something like that. But the rainbow, it just looked amazing, and huge money for them, obviously. But they look in person, it's absolutely stunning. Okay, by the way, speaking of unique Rolex, I actually missed this guy here. I don't think I covered this, right? Another stone dial, right? The stone dials are hot. So this is this white? This is platinum, right? Platinum. This is platinum and onyx. This is from the 90s, 1997. Full set, right? Full set. 60 to 120,000. Obviously, it's in mint condition. Is it in mint condition? It's in very good. Let's just say it's in very good condition, right? I mean, it looks interesting. I just find the black dial is a little bit dull. It's like, you want to see a little bit of color. But when you think back to the 90s, that was kind of the look. I mean, the white metals were hot, white, gold, or platinum. Platinum was like the thing, right? In the 90s, white, gold, platinum, that was a thing. Yellow gold was out. Yellow gold was dead. Oh, look at this. We got a Breguet, like the Baron. We got the Baron Red. He's got one of these. 6 to 9,000 is the estimate. Here we go with the rotor in the back and the dial. I hate this dial though. That's the one thing. It's like, and I told him, like this dial is like, porcelain. Okay, it's a porcelain dial. I get it, but yeah, if I'm gonna get a Breguet, I want the Breguet dial. I want the Breguet dial. Did I miss anything else here? Okay, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Let's see. Langanzon. They get some other big date. They get some Daytonas here and all that. Let's take a look. Pocket watches. Whoa, this is a heavy hitter. Now I'm actually very interested in these pocket watches now. This is a perpetual calendar, Grand Sonnerie. And is there a video where we can hear it? No, there's no video. There is no video. Anyway, this is 200 to 400,000. Wow. Chaz Frodsham, South Moulton Street. Oh, it's like Moulton Street. Oh, look at that. Wow. Wow. That's impressive. That is really impressive. And look at the hands, the shape of the hands of the minute hand. It's actually looks kind of modern. It looks very, I mean, the watch looks very, it looks incredibly modern. It really does. It looks like it could be, I don't know, an FP Journe or who's the guy? George Daniels or the other guy, the other English guy. No, this is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Oh, Chaz, by appointment to the king. Okay. Oh, so this is the royal warrant for these, right? I'm gonna look at this description here, this catalog description here. Grand Sonnerie Tourbillon. They really should have a video where you can hear how it sounds. Great Britain has been associated with a long line of innovative watchmakers like Thompson, Tompion, Harrison, Mudge. The contemporary landscape, okay. George Daniels and Roger Smith, that's the guy. Roger Smith, his number 2 pocket watch sold for 4.9 million at Phillips. By the way, I talked about this Roger Smith thing. I don't know, is that legit or not? Here's the thing that I find very strange about the whole Roger Smith thing is, if you go to the Roger Smith website, because that's what I did when I was curious about it. I go to Roger Smith website, right? And right there, the first thing you see is it tells you all about his auction records. Like there's 5 posts all about auction, not about the auction. We got the record for this. You don't see Patek Philippe or Rolex bragging about their auction prices. And by the way, it's not difficult to create a high auction price. All you got to do is you get 2 friends to register for the auction, and they'll each bid, okay, against each other. And so how much is it going to cost you? So you sell the watch for $5 million, right? They're going to have to pay probably a 20% buyer premium. So, $1 million. So let's say it'll cost you $1 million. It's $1 million marketing, right? And now you have this, you can brag about having these high prices, right? Again, I'm not saying that that's what's going on, but it's easy to manipulate auction prices. So I don't take it too seriously for a brand like Roger Smith, which is okay. But if Roger Smith had a pocket watch that sold for $5 million, this guy should be selling for, I think by comparison, this could be that type of money. Definitely above the estimate, 500 grand plus. Okay, so Frodsham was a renowned British watchmaker, and he was appointed as keeper of Her Majesty's clocks at Buckingham Palace, appointed as chronometer maker to the Admiralty by the mid 1850s. Wow, he just now. Okay, that's the guy. That's the guy, 1810 to 1871. Okay, his son continued tourbillons for the cubes. Okay, so these guys this is very serious stuff, right? And again, this is, Victorian England was the peak of, they actually did do good machinery back then. These guys actually, I think they were far ahead of the Swiss. The Swiss actually copied American watchmakers. That's right. The Swiss were like the Chinese of the 19th century. They were making knockoffs of American pocket watches. Unbelievable but true. Unbelievable but true. The Strand, 84. Actually, I must have passed this store. I think this store is still there. This building looks, it does look, it looks kind of familiar. Let's see. Okay, so this is very serious stuff here. Yeah. The dial is absolutely amazing, right? Oh, wait. And this watch, wait. The present watch, okay. Let's see okay. Handmade dial, engine turned center, polished chapter ring with black Romans, gold polished subsidiary rings, Breguet style hands. Okay. The dial is breathtaking in its beauty and superbly preserved. I agree. This watch was first offered at auction in 1989. So it went through auction, 35 years ago, right? The consignor, the original owner, or that guy, he inherited from his father, who was a surgeon of Scottish heritage, born in New York, an investment banker. He used this Charles clock watch on his 3-masted, 147-foot schooner named Cutty Sark during voyages to the Caribbean. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. So one of the owners of this watch was using this pocket watch on a 147-foot. Yes, it's a sailboat, right? 147-foot sailboat. in the Caribbean. That's crazy. I mean, this has got to be like, probably a wooden boat, right? This is not one of these. He was general manager of the American Red Cross of France, the American rank of colonel. Hey, just like I got so much in common with this guy. We're both colonels. We're both colonels. The present consignor has owned the watch since its purchase. It remains in the identical state, having never been used since then. That's crazy. I mean, that is ridiculous. Wait. So the guy buys it at auction 35 years ago, and he's never used it? I mean, that's actually sacrilege. I mean, it really is. That's kind of insulting. It's an insult. It's an insult to the watchmaker. It really is. That's an insult to buy this watch. And it probably sold for, serious money also at the time, because pocket watches were actually very hot up until, right around 19. I mean, this guy basically bought the watch at the top of the pocket watch market. That's really when it peaked. And then everybody got into wristwatches. But to buy this watch and to never use it, never to hear the chiming is, I think that is more sacrilegious than what we saw with Sylvester Stallone and that, keeping his Grandmaster chime, wrapped in plastic, buying it for, $2 million, keeping it wrapped in plastic to flip it. No, this is really, it's the wrong thing to do. It really is. Yeah, I mean, I really do hope that the whoever buys this does use the watch, and puts up a video on Instagram or YouTube so we can hear the chime, the minute repeater. That's what we want to hear. I mean, that's crazy to spend that money on a watch and never to hear. These people are insane. Really, they really are. I mean, I'm not like joking. It's a sick, really sick human being. I mean, this guy should be ashamed of himself for not using this watch. Really. Anyway, I didn't think I'd spend this much time on a pocket watch here, but yeah, this thing is just, it's pretty stunning. Pretty stunning. I wonder if Phillips would let people hear the chiming. No? I would insist on hearing it. If I'm buying the watch, I'd insist on it. So, by the way, I don't know if I believe that. That sounds like a line of bullshit. That it's never been used in 35. That sounds like a line of bullshit to me. It really does. I don't know if I believe that. But anyway, look, this is an amazing watch. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you're just tuning in, make sure you're getting our free weekly newsletter. Click the link in the video description below, and you're going to be joining thousands of sophisticated watch enthusiasts just like you. Latest news on Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, Rolex, and more prices, all that good stuff. Click the link in the video description below, and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Wait, which one is that? There we go.